Well, hey there, everybody. Long time no see. I have been away from YouTube for almost 2 weeks now because, as many of you know, my youngest daughter got married just this past weekend. We just had so many things going on, from wedding prep to manicures and pedicures to running errands to family that was staying at our house to so many things that I just decided I wanted to enjoy it all. I wanted to be present. I wanted to take it all in. This happens once in a lifetime. So I didn't work for almost 2 full weeks. But here I am back today, and I'm going to share with you all of our wedding activities, what I wore for all of those activities, and show you some actual sneak peek wedding photos. Now, I don't actually have the official wedding photos back. Those are probably going to be a couple more weeks. So the photos I'm going to show you were some things that I was able to snap on my phone when I did have my phone out, and some photos that friends and family and guests at the wedding have given to me. So our wedding festivities started the prior weekend, which was Memorial Weekend. My oldest daughter and her husband, who live in Milwaukee, came to stay with us. They were going to be here for the whole week before the wedding. And y'all, the weather here in Western Kentucky, which I think it was in most parts of the U.S., was total. It rained, and it rained. We didn't get a single moment outside in the pool for the entire holiday weekend. But you know, hey, that's fine. We spent some time indoors with my daughter who was getting married. She came over. We had some really great family time. One rainy afternoon, she put on her wedding dress and her veil and her shoes, and we just got a full 360 of her in the wedding dress, because the only time that she had actually had on the dress was when we would go to the alterations lady and it was being pinned up. We made 5 different visits to the alterations because my daughter completely, and I mean completely, redesigned this dress. The dress actually, when she bought it, had a full top to it, like a tank top, kind of like the top that I'm wearing, and had a big scoop back. And in the end, as you'll see in some of the pictures, it was completely reworked from the body up, but it was absolutely stunning. So we got to do a lot of those fun mother, daughter, sister things. Then a couple days before the wedding, I took both of my daughters and me, of course, and we had manicures and pedicures. And this was a day that we had looked forward to for so long. We were so excited. So on this day, I knew I was going to be sitting in one of those fancy manicure, pedicure chairs for a couple hours. I was going to get my fingers and my toes done, as was my other daughter. The daughter getting married was also getting acrylic. So I knew we were going to be there for a good long while. I wanted to be comfortable, but I wanted to look cute. And on top of this, right after we got our mani-pedis, we were headed to my niece's high school graduation party. So there were all those things rolled into one big day, and I wanted to be dressed appropriately. So I decided to wear one of my very favorite tank tops. It was hot and muggy outside because it had been raining, so a tank top was definitely in order. And I had this tank top in probably 10 different colors. I love it so much. It is stretchy and comfortable. The straps on the tank are the perfect width. It is regular bra friendly. That is one of the reasons I love it so much. And the tank is not long. I don't have to tuck it in. It just hits me right at the natural waist. I wear it with pants, shorts, jeans, everything, and it just looks so natural and perfect. I paired the olive color tank with my favorite white linen pants. I felt classy. I felt wedding-ish. I felt, like I was out for the day, and it was also party appropriate. These white linen pants have big pockets. They're not a wide leg pant, but they're not slim either. They're just kind of a straight, flowy, perfectly linen-y white pant that I am wearing so much this summer. I wore them in the springtime too. And then because we were going to have pedicures, I didn't want to put my feet into shoes or into sandals that would mess with my toes. And you all know how much I love my strappy little flip-flops. Even though these are flip-flops, they have memory foam in the sole, and I love that they're just perfectly classic. You can just slip them on with anything and everything. And as you'll see throughout this video, this is primarily what I wore every single day, except for on the actual wedding festivities. So by the way, everything that I'm showing you in today's video, every single item that I'm wearing and referencing, I will link in the description box below, along with the size and color that I have on. So if you want to shop anything that you see in this video, it'll all be there for you. I will also pin all of that information into the top comment under this video, so it's really easy for you to find. And I figured since I'm telling you what I'm wearing, I'm going to show you my undergarments as well, because that's kind of super important. So the regular bra that I wore underneath the tank top is this everyday bra. It is from my favorite brand that I've shared with you all over and over and over, but they revised their everyday bra so that the straps are very thin and there's only 3 clasps in the back. So it's more of a slimline bra. It does have jelly stripping down the side and underneath the breast, so that I'm actually wearing it right now. I have lift, I have support. My breasts are kept in alignment with my body. They're not kind of squished and hanging out to the side. My boobs don't spill over the top, and I love that the straps are super, super thin. I have this bra in several different colors. Today I'm actually wearing it in a gray color, natural color, and black, and this is what I'm wearing, again, as you'll see, almost every single day. And I decided to pair this classy and fun outfit with this beautiful hand-woven leather purse. This purse does have shoulder straps. You can wear it like that if you choose, and there's also one strap for your hands. You can just kind of put it like this or just grab it and go. With this look on Mani Pedi Day, I wanted to actually carry a purse instead of wearing a crossbody, because we're going to a party and we went out to lunch, and I don't know, I just didn't want to wear a crossbody. So this is what I chose. I love this purse. It has a flat bottom, so when you sit it down, it doesn't tip over and you don't lose all your things. So what color did I choose for my fingernails and my toenails? I chose the color 891 by D&D. It is almost a sheer with a pinkish hue. I thought it was the perfect color for an outdoor garden wedding, which is what my daughter was having. And I didn't want an actual nail color. I didn't want my nails to stand out. So I just thought this was perfectly beautiful, shiny and shimmery, and you can see the tips of my nails through it just a little bit, almost like a French manicure, but not. And this color is available on Amazon. You all know that I do my own fingers and toes at home, so I'm absolutely going to purchase this gel polish color and have it at the house. Then the next day was errands and errands and errands and more errands. We had so many things to do the day before the rehearsal dinner that I met my daughter out and we just had a list. We just had to check off all of the things. It was hot, the sun was starting to come out, but yet I wanted to be cute, but we had a lot to do. So I wore a featherweight cashmere sweater and white linen shorts, those same strappy little slip-on memory foam flip-flops, and this gorgeous, I'm obsessed with it, raffia and leather crossbody purse. If you're thinking cashmere in the summer, that's exactly what I thought when I found this sweater, but it is a tank top sweater, and this cashmere, it's called a featherweight cashmere, is so super thin. The sweater is incredibly stretchy, and it was perfect for the heat. I felt good in it. I looked great out running errands with my daughter, and it was the perfect little outfit. These white linen shorts are the short version of the pants that I wore the day before. They both have elastic waist and just the big pockets, and they're perfect. So my rule of thumb, I don't know if this is what you do, when I buy white pants or shorts of any kind, I always, for some reason, size up. Just because, you know, it's white, and I did size up in these shorts. I actually have the same exact shorts in the color pink in the smaller size, and for some reason I thought, you know, I need to size up in the white, and they're just a smidge too big. It's fine, but in these shorts, if you decide to get some for yourself, definitely get your regular size. And this is that cute little crossbody. When I got this crossbody, it comes in two different colors. There is a solid brown and then this two-tone with natural and black. And oh gosh, I am going to have to get the brown for the fall, but for the summer, I just thought this was so perfect. It is the absolute perfect size to throw over your shoulder as a crossbody, and it holds everything I needed, but it wasn't big and bulky. It has a buttery zipper. It held my wallet, a little pouch with my lip gloss and dental floss and stuff like that, my cell phone and my keys, and it was so perfect. And I thought it just pulled together the little sleeveless tank and the linen shorts. It turned it into an outfit instead of being, just two individual pieces. Then on the day of the rehearsal dinner, I was responsible for picking up the wedding cake. I gotta be honest, I was a little nervous about this because my daughter ordered the cake. It was custom made. I'd never seen it in person, obviously. I did not know how big it was going to be. I had to pick up the cake, get it home to my house, get it in the refrigerator until that evening, and then get it back in the car. And we had to drive a little over an hour to the wedding venue where it was going to be stored in the house until the next morning. But I was responsible for the cake. So on the morning that I went to pick it up, it was oddly a little bit cool. It was weird because it had been so hot the day before. So I threw on a super comfy matching set, has kind of sort of like crop pants, but it's flowy, it's easy to wear, and I just thought, I don't want to put on any clothing that I even have to think about. I want to be comfortable, I want to go to the bakery, I got to deal with this cake, and I want to get home and get it in my refrigerator. This little matching set, I've had it for a year and a half, almost 2 years, I think, and I wear the dickens out of it. I have it in two different colors, absolutely love it. So it is still available on Amazon. However, my set has a very wide open neck. The brand has redesigned the neck of the set and it comes up just a little bit higher. And I gotta say that probably is a good thing because I find that my set wants to like veer off and kind of expose one side. So the new design is perfect and it's available in a lot more colors now too. And I paired the set with those same little slip-on sandals and that natural and black crossbody. It was perfect for out and picking up the cake. And let me just say, I made it home with the cake in one piece. It was so heavy. It was on a really heavy board. The bakery had put it in a box. I was able to get it in my fridge and get it to the wedding venue with no problems. Yay, me. Pat on the back for that. So that night, it was the rehearsal dinner. And all of my daughters' wedding party, their spouses or their plus ones, all met at the wedding venue, and we rented a venue called Namoli Estates in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So there are several different parts to the venue that you can use. You can kind of mix and match and create basically the venue that you need. So we had access to this huge, gorgeous home and mansion, the outdoor area with the gazebo and a party area. This is where we had the wedding. That's where my daughter spent the night, and was a bridal suite. We had a makeup artist come in, the person doing her hair, and all of the bridal party got married in the mansion. There is also a separate building called the Lodge. It kind of has almost a rustic cabin in the mountains feel, yet the inside is a little bit more not so rustic. So this is where we had the rehearsal dinner after being over at the mansion and rehearsing the wedding outside. The rehearsal dinner was held inside the lodge, and then everybody that was in her wedding party, like 20 something people, this lodge is full of bedrooms. They all stayed there the night before the wedding and the night after the wedding too. And the reason that was, when my daughter was planning her wedding, all she wanted was to look and feel like a princess and have a party with her friends. She and now my son-in-law have a huge group of friends that they have been friends with for years and years because They've been together for 8 years. All through her high school and college, they've been together. So they just wanted a party with their friends. They wanted their friends to spend the night, to be with them for the wedding, before and after, and they just wanted a party, and that is exactly what she got. So, because this rehearsal dinner was going to be at the wedding venue, but then we were going to the lodge and we planned on staying and partying around with them for a little while. And so about 2 months ago, I happened to be in the mall with my daughter. We walked into H&M of all places, and there on a mannequin was the dress that I wanted for my rehearsal dinner. It's this beautiful, flowy, shorter dress with kind of balloon sleeves. But what caught my eye was not the cut of the dress, it was the fabric, the colors, the florals. It was exactly my daughter's vision for her wedding, just wrapped up in a dress. So as you can tell by looking at this, her wedding colors were deep pinks, light pinks, greens, and whites, and that was everything about this dress. Now, if you like this dress, but you're like, I don't think that cut and style would work for me, H&M has several other pieces that are in the same fabric, but not the same dress. There was a blouse, there was a tank top, there was a skirt, there was a different style of dress, all in the same fabric. So just look at this with the big pink flowers, the little bit of green. It is whites, it's creams, it's just the perfect wedding rehearsal dress for my daughter's wedding. Now, because of the style of the dress, it is short but big and flowy, and this material is a little bit on the thin side. I thought that I needed to wear a slip from the waist down. This is a short slip. It did not show. This is available on Amazon, and it's one of those slips that does not cause static, and it will not stick to the dress. So this was perfect. You couldn't see through the dress. And honestly, I don't know that the slip was necessary. It just made me feel a little bit better because it turned out windy. And even when we were outside doing the wedding rehearsal, the wind was blowing. And I thought, ooh, I am so glad I have the slip on, because one big strong wind and who knows what would have shown. But the slip made me feel so much more comfortable about wearing a sort of thin, flowy short dress. And if you're wondering about the bra that I wore with that beautiful dress with the square neck, it was that same bra, the everyday bra with the little skinny straps. So before we left home, I actually had these strappy sandals on with the dress. This went around my ankle. These are kind of an off-white block heel sandal, and I was going to carry this little woven, this is a crossbody purse. It does come with a strap, but I was going to carry it just as a clutch. The colors matched. I thought this would be beautiful with the dress, but as I was walking around the house and we were actually getting ready to walk out the door, I was running around gathering up all of the things that I needed to take to the rehearsal dinner with us. We had a carload of stuff, but I also had a lot of small things. So my daughter's best friend, which was her maid of honor, had put together this gorgeous book, and all of her best friends, me, her dad, her sister, we all got a page in the book. So each page was covered in photos that we had given to her best friend, and there was an envelope, and we each wrote a letter to Brecken. And on the morning of the wedding, before they had breakfast and started getting ready, her friend was going to give her this beautiful book. So I had the letters from all of us that I needed to get up to the rehearsal dinner. And then my son-in-law, who was here at the house with us, had bought cigars for all of the guys who were going to be at the rehearsal dinner and the party, and there was like, I don't know, 10 or 12 guys. So we had all these cigars, and of course I needed my wallet, and I wanted to take a little bag with my lip gloss and, you know, all the things. And so I decided that this little clutch probably was not the best thing to carry. So I went into my closet and got one of my favorite bags. this beautiful olive green hand-woven leather bag. Now y'all, this was not my purse, but I decided to put the contents of my purse in the bag so that I could just carry one item and have everything that I needed. This leather bag has pockets inside. There's a zipper. It just carried everything perfectly. And then when we got to the lodge, I just set it down and it contained all of my things. And as we were getting ready to walk out of the door, I said to my daughter who was here with me, there's just something about these shoes I feel like might be just a little bit too dressy for this little short dress. And she said, do you have any other options? In fact, I did. So I went to my closet, and my favorite cork wedge heels that I have in the color gold and black, I've shared those with you all many times. I also have them in this nude suede color. But even though it is nude, it leans toward like a skin colored pink just a little bit. And so I changed my shoes, and this is what I actually ended up wearing. And I'm so glad that I did. These are the most comfortable shoes, and I felt like I wasn't quite so dressed up, but still dressed up. So these were the lifesaver that I wore to the rehearsal dinner and the after party. And because this dress was short and my legs were going to be on full display, I put on my Osea body oil. This stuff gives my skin just a beautiful, radiant glow and shine, but it's not oily. It doesn't leave a residue. So I had this on my legs and my arms. This stuff smells incredible. I wear this almost every day at home, but definitely on wedding rehearsal day because my legs were out and I had on heels and my calves were looking fantastic. I had on my Osea body oil. And with that dress, because it has almost a white undertone to it or a cream undertone, I wore these beautiful drop pearl earrings. Now these pearls are not bright white like a typical pearl. They're more of a crystallized, almost opaque pearl. They're on a little hook that goes in your ear, and these were perfect for wearing with that dress. So finally, it is wedding day, May the 31st, and we were up bright and early. There was so much to do on wedding day. The minute I opened my eyes at 6 a.m., the sun was out. It was a beautiful day, slightly breezy, but that's okay. At least the skies were pure blue and sunshine, and it was the perfect day for a wedding. So I had to get dressed at home. I did my hair and makeup at home, and then we were going to travel to the wedding venue and put on our dresses, and my husband was going to put on his suit. We were going to spend time with my daughter when she was getting her hair and makeup done, and all the behind the scenes things. So again, I wore my favorite ribbed tank top, the same tank top that I wore in the olive color earlier in the video. I wore it on this day in the color black, along with my everyday bra in the color black. I paired that black tank top with these wide leg linen pants, and they're kind of like in a brick or rust color with my same old trusty strappy little sandals. I wanted an outfit that was going to look good when I arrived, but was going to be easy to take off and put back on because I knew I was going to have to put on my wedding dress, and then I didn't know at what time into the night was I going to put this outfit back on for the drive home. So this was easy to wear. I looked great. I felt comfortable, and this outfit had no fuss about it. It was just simple and perfect. And I paired it with these little gold hoop drop earrings. There is a little diamond dropped from the bottom right there, and they're a smaller size hoop. I just thought this was perfect for the kind of classic, easygoing, flowy summer outfit that I had on, and I love these little earrings. And one thing I did at home that morning after my shower, before I got dressed and headed to the wedding venue, was apply my Westmore Beauty, what is this called? Body Coverage Perfector. You all have probably seen ads for this stuff all over social media, exactly like I have. My wedding dress, you all have seen it before. My mother of the bride dress is a strapless dress. It is summertime. I've been outside. I have tan marks that I wanted to cover up. I wanted my chest to look flawless and perfect. I just wanted to be glowing and beautiful. And so that is what this product says it will do. And let me tell you, it absolutely does this. I bought this a couple weeks ago. I tried it out and wore it several days. I wanted to make sure that I got the right color. I wanted to know that it was not going to fade on my dress. It was not going to fade on my daughter or my husband if I hugged them. So I tested this out for several different days before the wedding to make sure that all of those things were gonna, it was gonna work properly. I had to know. I couldn't just put this on wedding day and cross my fingers. Let me tell you what, this stuff is awesome. The first day that I tried this out, I actually put it on my legs. I was afraid to put it on my chest because I just didn't know. So I put it on the bottom of my legs and tried it out. It's really pretty, but the chest for me was the big test. And I am so glad that I bought this big brush that is an accessory. It's made by Westmore Beauty to go along with the body perfector, but the brush is absolutely necessary to get this on in a flawless motion and to be able to rub it around. So on the morning of the wedding, I took my shower. You have to be totally dry. So I waited about 10 minutes after my shower. You put this on, brush it wherever you would like. Let it sit. You can't put your clothes on for 10 minutes. It has to totally dry, and then you're supposed to buff it off. You can buff it off with this. I actually took a really soft hand towel and just lightly, you're really not buffing it. You're just making sure that if you had any in excess anywhere, that you are smoothing it kind of down so that it looks natural and consistent. I made sure when I put on the original application with the brush that it was flawless. So even though I had to wait 10 minutes and buff it, didn't really feel like anything was buffing off, and nothing ever came off on my towel. But I did it anyway. And then you have to wait 10 more minutes before you can put on clothing. So I did it that morning, and let me tell you, as you will see in the photos later in this video, my chest looked flawless. And even my daughter's best friend, after I put my wedding dress on, we were standing in the bathroom, doing touch-ups to her hair, and she said, "Your chest looks incredible. Do you have like makeup or something on there?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, in fact," and I was telling her about this stuff. So if you have an event, any reason at all that you need your chest, your arms, your shoulders, your legs to look freaking phenomenal, I highly recommend the Westmore Beauty Body Coverage Perfector and get the matching brush. So here we go. We get in the car and we head to the wedding venue. So we did all the things with my daughter. She's got the makeup person there, the hair person. She is almost ready by the time that I arrived. They're putting the finishing touches on her makeup. I needed to be outside to kind of oversee what was happening because the florals were being set up, the tables were being assembled, the menus were being put out, like the staff was doing all the things. And so I'm kind of running around all over the place for a couple of hours, just making sure that everything that needs to happen is being taken care of. We had to get the flowers on the cake, and I am so sorry I do not have a photo of the finished cake to show you all. I'm sure there will be one from the wedding photographer. I was just so wrapped up in getting the cake designed that I did not get a picture. So all of the photos started at 2 p.m. So about 1:30, I put on my dress. Everybody's starting to get dressed. So my mother of the bride dress is this beautiful strapless dress. It's kind of a cranberry color is the best way to describe it. And along the bottom of the dress are these beautiful pink flowers. It is flowy, hits me right at the ankle, but the strapless bodice of it has silicone right around the top, so the dress did not slip down. It has a very defined waist, and let me tell you something. I put this dress on at like 1 o'clock and did not take it off until 11 o'clock that night. It did not slip. It did not fall. It was fantastic. And oh, the photos, the photos. So all of my daughter's bridesmaids could wear any dress they wanted in any color of pink, as long as the pinks were like within a certain color palette that my daughter had picked out. And because my dress is a solid, I stood out. I was designated the mother of the bride with all of these flowers, and the pictures are just stunning. So what was going on underneath this dress? Well, because it's a strapless dress, I needed some and any strapless bra that I tried to wear with the dress was just too much. It looked like I had tried to lift and press my boobs. And you know, you're in your 50s, a strapless bra can sometimes make like a little fat bulge right there. And I just didn't want that. So I wore a sticky bra, or I call them sticky boobs. And let me tell you what, when I was in the room getting dressed with a bunch of 20-year-old girls, every single one of those girls were also wearing some form of a sticky bra, nipple covers, or boob tape. Listen, I got an education. I learned a lot from being around those young women. And the next time that I need any form of body shaping or have to dress up and like all the things are going to matter, you've got on a tighter dress or the boobs and all the things, I know exactly how to do it now. I've shared the sticky bra with you all before, but it has paper on it right now, but you peel this paper off and it is sticky on both sides. So you adhere it to your breast, pull it up where you want it, and then stick the sticky bra to your dress. I had cleavage, my boobs were lifted, but I didn't have that fat. It was like a very natural cleavage, exactly where I wanted it to be. And because this was stuck to me and my dress, nothing moved all night long. It was fantastic. And then with my wedding dress, I didn't want to wear a bunch of jewelry. I didn't want a necklace. I just wanted a bracelet and earrings. And again, I wore the drop pearl earrings that I had worn earlier in the week. These little pearl earrings were just so delicate and perfect to wear with the wedding dress. And then I had the perfect lipped combination to match my dress, to match the vibe of the wedding, what I thought would look really great with my skin tone. And it's 3 different brands, 3 different products, but it just looked so natural and so incredible. So I started it off with a lip liner from RMS Beauty. And this lip liner pencil is called Sunset Nude. And I love this one because on one end you have your lip pencil, and on the other end there is a very fine pointed, almost kind of like a hard bristle brush. So if your lipstick comes down too far or it bleeds into a lip line, you can just take this little brush and just shush it right off. This is fantastic stuff. Then I wore a lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. It is this beautiful pinky rosy color called Rose to Fame. And this is a satin lipstick. I cannot tolerate a matte lipstick, so this definitely is satin. And then on top of it, I wore, just in the center, my favorite volumizing glossy lip balm by Hourglass in the color Impulse. So here I am, we're dressed, we're ready for the wedding. The photos started at 2 o'clock. My daughter took photos out in this huge, gorgeous sunny field with all of her bridesmaids. There are photos of me and her, photos of me and her and my other daughter. And then my daughter did her first look with her dad. He knew nothing about the dress. The dress was a huge secret from the entire time that she had bought it. She told no one anything. So the photographer took my husband out into the field, had him turn around so his back was to my daughter. So I'm kind of following my daughter and the photographer, videoing kind of quietly behind the scenes, but it was so emotional when my husband turned around and saw Brecken. Oh my goodness. So they got some photos together, but my daughter never saw her soon to be husband. They were kept separate. She wanted his very first look of her to be when the doors opened and she walked down the aisle. And let me tell you, she pulled it off. So anyway, we got all the photos done. It is time for the wedding. The bridal party lined up inside the mansion with these gorgeous wooden and glass doors. And so the groomsmen went out one by one. The bridesmaids went out one by one, and all the while, my husband and I and Brecken are hiding around a corner because we don't want any of the guests to see us. So after the last bridesmaid went out, my daughter picked up my phone and took this picture. This is us waiting, and the wedding coordinator closed the doors. We walked to the front. The doors opened. We both walked her down the aisle, and the wedding started. And it was incredible. The wedding ceremony was at 4 o'clock. It was sunny, but it wasn't too hot. There was a slight breeze. My daughter was stunning in her dress. They had the ceremony or did their vows in front of this gorgeous pavilion with a stone staircase, and she had it filled with all of these flowers in different shades of pinks and greens and whites, and it was beautiful. And then we went back up to the house. We did some more family photos with Brecken and Blake, my now son-in-law, together, and we had dinner. We cut the cake. They did the first dance. There was a father-daughter dance, and Blake danced with his mother, and then the party began. So I didn't tell you about the shoes I wore with my wedding dress, but it was these little mamas that I wore for 9 hours and danced for 3 solid hours. 3 solid hours I danced in these shoes, and they did not hurt my feet for 1 single second. So these shoes have suede right here in the toe, so they are super comfortable. They have almost a block heel, so I felt stable. I did not feel like I was wearing heels at all, and they're dirty now, but you can see that the whole sole is full of like a gripped texture. So the day before the wedding, I actually put these on and went out back by our pool. I was going to break in the shoes, and I shared this video on my Instagram story telling you all that I was going to be, off of social media for a couple days because we were having a wedding. But I realized I didn't have to break in these shoes. Because of the way these shoes were designed, it is like I had worn them many times over. They were perfect. And y'all, I danced my bahootie off. I had such a good time. I danced with everybody from my husband to my father-in-law to friends and family members, my sister-in-laws. I was just dragging everybody out on the dance floor. My sister and her husband danced. My niece, my nephew even danced. Well, I got him out there. He was on the dance floor. He stood there. I don't think he moved, but at least he joined us. But everybody, every single wedding guest was having a blast. And at the end of the night, the DJ told my daughter that that was the most fun wedding he had ever DJ'd. That most weddings, people will get out and they'll kind of do a little this and that, but that's the end of it. My daughter and her friends were partying. They were having a ball, and that was everything she wanted. So now that the wedding is over, my daughter is, as of this moment, away on her honeymoon. My other daughter is back home in Milwaukee, and I have some last minute things that I have to take care of. I have to return the groomsmen's ties. We have some rental things that we need to return. So I'm dressed and ready to do that as soon as I finish filming this video for you. And today, because it is hot and sunny, I am wearing this adorable 2-piece set. It is sleeveless, regular bra friendly. I'm wearing the bra that I've worn all week in the color gray. It has big flowy shorts, and of course I'm going to throw on my little black stripy sandals and off I go. I've got a lot to do today. So that was our wedding week. My daughters, both of them are happily married at this point. I'm beyond thrilled for both of them and cannot wait to see what their future holds. So I will see you all in the next video.